So hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Assetto Corsa Competizione video. In this video we're going to be looking at Motec once again, but for totally different reasons. Sorry about the lack of content to the channel. Unfortunately I am working, and I do work away quite a lot in one spell, so I do tend to put videos out probably once every 3 weeks. But yeah, let's have a look at what we're going to be looking at today. So whilst I'm away, I spent a little bit of time looking at Coach Dave, and I guess for different reasons. I'm quite happy doing a setup, but I think the faster lap times do get the better of me, and I do start looking at lap times thinking, how the hell is that possible? So I thought I would look at Coach Dave to download the Motec files to show the lap time that the other drivers are setting. Obviously I've got access to the setups, but I'm not going to be looking at the setups today because I tried the setup for this Porsche here at the Nordschleife and I couldn't get on with it at all. The rear end was just way too twitchy for me. There's too much oversteer on corner entry under braking. It just doesn't suit my driving style at all. But the main premise behind this video is using the Motec data to see where you are struggling with your lap. And for me, I've literally shaved 3 seconds off my lap time. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're trying to find a second, to find 3 seconds is, I think it's testament to how useful this software can be. And I'm going to show you how I do it. For some reason when I'm using snipping tool to capture the screen, there's this overlay on the top which doesn't allow me to use the screen in full screen. So I'm just going to come out, and we're just on the track report section of the Motec software, and I'm just going to load up the log file for the fastest lap, and it's this one here. And I'll show you in the data that he set at 8 minutes 6 in the Porsche 992. So we're going to select that. We're going to go to the file that I was using, and this was the first lap that I set. So it was this one here, 1634. It's really weird how it names the files, but this was the first lap I set. It was an 813.4. So we're going to select the 806 as the main one and the 813 as the secondary one. So we just close this here, and I'll just bring this up to full screen again, and this is the track report that I use. I'll just go into properties here, because in the brake settings I'm just going to deselect this last one here, save it, go back into throttle, and I'm just going to deselect this last one again, and that should give us obviously the green sections for the acceleration and the brake, and you can see quite clearly that where the cars are braking, where they're accelerating. If we look at things like this, we can see kind of what speeds they're doing, and we'll get onto this in a minute, but let's come back to this track report. So we're just going to be selecting one of the main things that I found really helpful. If you go into add and choose time and go to display, and we want to see the variance between the two cars. I do hate how it does this. We're just going to slide that across to the other side of this map, because it's only important that we see the time. And you can see on this delta here, the data line, that while ever the line is going upwards, this is time lost. So while ever it's straight like these sections here, we're keeping a similar pace. So I'll just put that up there because this is the most important figure here. Don't really worry about this, it's got really nothing to do with the video. But I'm going to set these two off running, I'll bring the screen up to full again. And you can see as we're coming down into turn 1, we've already lost 0.6 of a second, 6/10 of a second. And I think that's purely down to the fact that I started the lap doing a flying lap from the main circuit, this circuit here. And as we come through this section here, I've gone straight along and round this corner here and done the start of the lap. So just by coming down the long straight and starting the lap, you gain about half a second into turn 1. And you can see under acceleration, the Coach Dave car is using no traction control at all, and I'm using TC1. So you'll see under the acceleration phases, it's not particularly gaining a massive amount, but it is gaining time under acceleration in this current setup that we're using here. And I think in the Coach Dave setup he's using maybe 9 on the rear, and I'm using 12 currently, aero balance. So the car is fundamentally a little bit slower. And you can see that in this delta as it keeps rising. The Coach Dave car is pulling away from me. So coming through some of this twisty section as the track would come round, usually here, we just come round to the left hand side, and you can see it gains quite a bit through this section. I come back a little bit and then he's away again. Accelerating down through a tricky section. I'd always find this very tricky. And we'll look at this in a little bit more detail when it comes to my kind of faster lap, but I just want to show you just how much progress that I've made by doing this. So you can see I've come back in a few phases. We've gained probably 2/10 through that phase. So the Ghost not having it all his own way, but under acceleration you can see he's just pulling away. And this is something that as much as you can see how much the car's pulling away, it gives you an idea that he's definitely using less downforce, because he's just always pulling away on the straights. You probably reach a point where you're at the top end of the gear and he's still pulling away. You definitely know then you're using too much rear wing. This is a section on the video or on the track map that doesn't actually match how it is in reality, because usually you'd be braking in a straight line here. I'll try and put the video image just alongside here that we're seeing of that lap, because you'll see that I can't actually get the fastest lap for this. I think the one that's on YouTube is at 8:08, but this is an 8:06 lap. But hopefully I'll try and put my lap alongside so you can see that the track doesn't actually match. So already coming up to 3 seconds adrift then now. And I think from this section here, I really do struggle through here. The Coach Dave driver really has got the car hooked up through here, or he's just much better at it. But yeah, maybe not losing too much, just a couple of tenths through the first section, then a huge amount through this last section. Just carries so much more speed. Maybe 3 tenths I've lost through there. The tight twisty section, accelerating out of there and down into this bottom section, always loose through the bridge section. I call it the bridge section here. And then getting the power down through this right hand is always very tricky. Finding the braking position, obviously I brake a tiny bit later, and it seems to be the way as well. I always seem to be braking a tiny bit later than the Coach Dave Ghost. And maybe I'm braking too late, carrying too much speed into the corner, then sacrificing the exit. But already another second lost through that twisty section. So as we're coming towards the carousel section, a very fast right-hander just dropping down to 5th gear through here. lose a little bit of time through there. Obviously carries a little bit more speed through the apex and all the way up the hill. Nearly half a second really lost through there. As we go into the carousel to see how much he gains through the carousel. Probably another 3/10. And then for me, this is where things are pretty tough through here. I always find the rear of the car really squirmy. Always pretty tentative through these sections. But it is a really tricky section to maintain flat out speed. You're pushing the curbs all the time. Doesn't do an amazing job actually. I am gaining on him in sections. But we're still nearly 6 seconds adrift now. Always a tentative section to get the power down coming through here, so seem to manage holding the 5.8, just coming back on him a tiny bit and then losing out massively through here. Well, not massively, but there's a couple of tenths getting lost through there. 2 tenths or so. This is definitely a section that I'll lose out in. I think he always carries much more speed through here. Maybe even 3 tenths I think I'd lose through here. 3, 4, 5 tenths. 5 tenths lost through that one section. Half a second. So then as we're coming round, is he going to carry more speed? Definitely carries more speed round there. Probably earlier on the power. And then all the way down this back straight. Just looking at the speeds, obviously he's carrying a bit more speed already. And this brings us kind of closer together. We go back to the track map and you can see the difference. So he's definitely running about 5 kilometers an hour faster down there. Coming through into the last heavy braking phase, both braking at about the same point. I think he's probably harder on the brake pedal, much more progressive with his brake pedal. I tend to bounce around quite a lot. So 7.6 seconds adrift. I'll just come back to there. 7.6 seconds was the difference. So let's just look at a few sections. So from the start of the lap round to almost finishing the lap out as you start going down into the Nordschleife section. And we're already nearly 2 seconds behind, 1.7 seconds. As we join the main circuit, we're nearly down to 2 seconds. Going under the first bridge, and we're 2.6 seconds behind the first sector. Which is a huge amount to try and gain through sector 1. 2.6 seconds adrift. Now from this section here, 2.9 seconds adrift. So we lose a full second through this section. And as we get up to here, just accelerate there. All the way through this uphill section, we're losing a lot of time. And then from here to the other side, it's nearly 1.5 seconds through this section. And then from here to the finish line, it's nearly another 2 seconds. So let's just change the ghost. We'll just select the fastest lap again. And then having taken on board all these things. This was the lap I was able to set an 8:10, which I'm really happy with. Although I did see an 8:9 throughout the lap. It has gotten much better. So we come to this. I don't know why it's not saving these properties. So just edit that again. Just remove that one. And we'll edit this one. Just remove that one. Hopefully that brings it back. Not sure. Oh, we need to get rid of this again and do it all again. So delete that. Add that again. Show the variance. Bring that over there. That up to there. Yeah, there we go. So if we set these off again. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just a second. Come back to this data. So we've got, that's better. The fastest lap's in red, this one here, and this is the other lap that we're going to be following. And just close that, and we'll make it, set it off again. Let's just get them back to the start finish line again. Because you'll see now that accelerating down to the finish, the first corner, we're both going to be hitting about the same kind of speed. Because I've started the full lap again, so we're only losing a few tenths. If anything, I was a little bit quicker there. So down into turn 1. And remembering I'm accelerating in TC1 and he's in TC0. So coming off the acceleration phase, TC1 is actually better than TC0. So all those people running TC0 thinking that they're getting the best acceleration, again coming off this corner, I am getting better acceleration in TC1. So it might give you something to think about, should you be running traction control 0 or not. Again, through the acceleration phase off the corner, again, I've got better acceleration. I'm taking time out of him. Obviously, he's a little quicker through there. Again, under acceleration, I am a little bit quicker. But if you compare this to the previous lap, I'd nearly lost a second at this stage, over a second. So coming down to the end of the lap, where the lap would come round here, and we're getting very close to being just 2 tenths behind the Coach Dave's lap. Obviously losing out a few tenths around this corner. I think I was a little bit wayward through there. I'd probably run a little bit too deep into the corner. Accelerating off. Might even see actually. Yeah, I might even see. Let's just pause it there. Bring them back to the start finish line. So as we cross the line, can I just add the video from my lap? I think we're going to be able to do that, aren't we? Let's just make that smaller. We can close that one. I'll put that over there. I'm just going to press play as we go past the start finish line and see if that kind of puts it together. So let's bring that back up. There we go. That's about right, isn't it? That's not too bad. Feels a little bit more like we're actually watching it now. A little lift through here. Back on the power, TC1. Nice straight line under braking. Just holding third gear. Really tentative through here. Accelerating off. I'm just 3/10 away, so it'd just be up ahead. Very tricky braking. Third gear, just using some of the curbs. See how wide I do run through here. A little bit too deep into the corner. That's where we've lost those 2/10. Nice and tight through this apex. Good acceleration off the corner. Ghost not pulling too far away. So even my Ghost up ahead is a little bit quicker through here. Very out of shape through there. We can see losing even to my own Ghost that I'm racing against to set this lap. So probably a little bit out of shape already. Maybe could have been up just 3/10 away from the Ghost. Or from Coach Dave's lap. A little lift through there, not a full lift. And we're actually catching the Coach Dave's Ghost here. And you'll see as we come into this braking phase on the map here, we're braking already now. And we've actually gone round the corner, we're already here really. Something going wrong with the Motec software. But we do actually catch up through this downhill section and see if we're just going to be braking at around the right point on the brake pedal. Yes, back on the power, brake pedal, a little bit scruffy. Not too bad of an exit, a second behind then at this stage. Again, the track map's just not right. Heavy on the brake again. Just through this little section. So 1.2 seconds behind as we come into here. And I do think the Ghost carries so much more speed through this section. You can see it. Maybe losing a tenth and a half. Not too bad though. Definitely losing time through there. Maybe 2 or 3/10 even. Again under the acceleration phase. I think traction control 1 is better than 0. A very tricky section to carry lots of speed through. Losing out maybe 2 or 3/10 again through there. See if we can carry a bit more speed through this section. Not too bad an exit. Still not as fast as Coach Dave. But we're very similar on pace now. Actually starting to take a little bit of time out of him there. And then he's coming back on me now. Carries a little bit more speed through there as well. Heavy on the brake. Down to second gear, hugging that inside. Very similar through that corner, so I'm not losing too much time through there. Into the carousel. So again, losing a little bit of time. So if you do find this useful, do leave a comment in the comment section. Love to hear your thoughts on using Coach Dave to see the lap delta. So I already lost quite a bit just through that first section. Really scary through here, I always find it really scary. Carrying good speed through there though. Still losing maybe 3/10 through there on the exit. Come back on him a little bit through there, and then on the acceleration phase I'm losing out. Not too bad through there. Not too bad through there either. See through the little dip how much time's lost here. Couple of tenths. Oh, can't quite do that. So nearly 4 seconds then down. Not too bad through there, holding my own. So definitely better looking at 4 seconds than 7 seconds. Really happy to have got somewhere near close to hitting my sub 8:10. Just need to brake a little bit earlier, I think. Get the car settled into the corner and get on the power earlier. So definitely something to take away myself from this video. Cross the line for an 8:10. So you can just see the setup there then. Quickly click through the video. That's not too bad, that worked out quite well just watching it back and looking at the data that I'd got. See the setups that you get with the Coach Dave and the progression through my own setup. That's pretty impressive. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I hope you found that useful. Do leave some comments in the comment section. And until next time, ciao for now.